This is Steve.
And this is Sean.
This is Acromedia's High Five.
So, Steve, what are we going to talk about today?
Taxes in Commerce 2.x.
Taxes aren't that exciting.
Actually, they're kind of exciting now.
Okay.
Have I piqued your interest?
A little.
Okay. Well,
please, sir, I wish to subscribe to your newsletter.
Oh, okay, excellent. I'll put a link to that below. Taxes in Commerce 2.x is a pretty big improvement from 1.x because there is a native integration with Avalara, and I do know that there are a couple integrations that are on the docket to be done. I believe TaxJar and TaxCloud are going to be done in the future. So if you are in the States, you have a couple different options to actually choose from because we all know that doing taxes in the States are impossible.
Literally impossible, not figuratively impossible, actually impossible.
So now you're not just locked into one option, you're going to have a few different options. That's a pretty big win there. And I do know that the EU is done, Canada is done, and even if you're in some country that you're selling and you don't have your default tax to choose from, you can still build the rules and configure them yourselves within Commerce. So that's actually, it's pretty good. Like it's done for you.
Yeah, and most of the time it's done out of the box. Like you said, the EU, Canada, that's what comes right with Commerce. That's no add-on, that's no third-party service, anything. They're just built right in. They automatically update with Commerce. As long as you stay even somewhat up-to-date with your Commerce install, you will always get the new rules there. We have it set up now in taxes so that you can have the concept of when a tax applies, not just like what it applies to and where it applies for. So you can say, this tax rate is this starting January 1st.
Oh, okay.
So that can be in the system way ahead of time. So you don't have to be up on like January 1st and be like, wait for it, now.
Yes.
Okay, switch the taxes.
Yeah. And then I also assume that things like non-taxable items you can configure when a tax should go on. Whether or not it has a default setup, you can still configure that and adjust it.
Any products can be taxable or not taxable categories. You can do all those normal sort of conditions, but you can also have this extra stuff of having the one condition we really didn't have before was the concept of when the tax applied. You just you had a tax or you didn't. So if you change the tax rate, it could also get confused if you tried to redo an old order. It would be like, oh, use the new tax rate. Well, that wasn't the tax rate 6 months ago when I made this order, but now we have the concept of when they apply, which makes it very good. So we can have these changes way in advance because usually tax changes are announced, months or more likely years in advance, and so that can be prepped in. So any remotely new install of Commerce 2 is going to have that built in for all those ones. And then if you use a system like Avalara, obviously they handle all of that. And provide the dynamic tax rates. And
since Avalara already has an integration, do we know what's included in that? Is it only the states, or do they handle more? Do you know?
I believe they handle more. I don't know which parts have been done or not. I think it's a full integration for everywhere that they handle.
Very cool.
It doesn't really, when we program it, it doesn't have to be US specific or whatever. We just say, hey, you take an address, you pass that to Avalara, and you pass what the goods are, they tell you what the tax is, away you go, right? So it works for everywhere that they cover, which I believe is a good part of the world.
Do you know anything else with TaxJar and TaxCloud, which is going to be done soon?
Yeah, those are soon, and that's going to depend a little bit on need. I think TaxCloud is already in progress. I don't believe TaxJar has been started. And TaxJar is I believe U.S. only, so that's a smaller one. That's one of the bigger usage of taxes because their rules are so immensely confusing with every different.
You're talking the U.S., not TaxJar.
Yeah. Yes, TaxJar. His whole purpose is to make it not confusing, because they handle dealing with that. God bless them or whatever, right?
For sure.
For every school district and water district and county and whatever football team you cheer for, or however they make up tax rules. I have no idea.
Yeah, if you cheer for the Browns, you get a higher tax rate. I get how it works.
No, you get sort of a pity.
It goes the other way. Rate. Yeah. Okay, I got you. That's why. So they're trying to get more
cruel
fans.
and unusual punishment.
Oh my goodness.
You're a Browns fan and you have a high tax rate.
My goodness. So what's the too long didn't read for taxes?
A lot more taxes included out of the box.
Awesome.
And better integrations. Yeah.
Right on. Well, taxes are a whole lot better in Commerce 2, so I doubt you have any questions, but you probably want to comment about how awesome Commerce 2.x is with taxes, so go ahead and do that below. I expect many comments.
Also, you can follow us on Facebook, follow our blog at acromedia.com, and follow me on Twitter.